This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Good morning, it's Friday, October 31st, 2025. INEC's continuous voter registration is still ongoing. Use the opportunity to register to vote. On the news this hour, relief coming for residents in flood-prone part of River State. Family reunite with baby grandmother after resolving hospital bill issue in River State. INEC disqualifies 6 more political groups. President Tinubu asks new service chiefs to crush emerging armed groups. On the foreign scene, UK's King Charles strips brother Andrew Otito's mansion. Details of these and more after this break. Muonyili with news. Now, help is finally on the way for people living in areas of River State that often suffer from flooding. The state government says it will begin sharing relief materials to those communities from next week. The distribution will be handled by the Flood Management and Control Committee, which is led by the Deputy Governor, Professor Ngozi Odu. Speaking to journalists at the Government House in Port Harcourt on Thursday, Professor Odu said the state government is ready to support residents before the flood causes more problems. She also explained that some reports claiming that many areas have been ravaged by floods are not true.
You have seen for yourself what we have in the warehouse here is massive, it's enormous. So we want to let you know that these are part of the interventions of the River State government. From next week, we'll start sending these items, food items, to the most hit LGAs as a way of mitigating the effect of the flood. So please spread the good news. I know when people keep saying it's ravaged, it's not ravaged. It's there, but we should speak with the truth of what we are seeing.
The Deputy Governor said there is an urgent need to dredge the Orashi River, which often causes flooding in the Ahuda area.
If we take, for example, Ahuda West, the major problem there is that the Orashi River needs to be dredged. It's not a thing that state government can do. It requires the intervention of the federal government. If the rain stops a little bit, you can virtually walk across the Orashi River. So this flood committee cannot mitigate that. By next week, we're sending things to Ahuda West so that 1 or 2 IDP camps that they're trying to set up are going to mitigate the problems they have there.
Professor Odu also said the committee will soon visit the family of the 2 children who sadly drowned during the heavy rainfall that caused flooding in parts of Obia local government area.
You know, the 2 children that we just had a minute silence for. At the time that incident happened, our account for the flood was frozen. Now the account unfrozen. The vice chair of this committee, who is the head of service of River State government, would go with a couple of about 6 people from the committee to make a presentation of a post, as well as also give them an official letter signed by me.
Now, she blamed the constant flooding in the state on people throwing waste into gutters and building houses on waterways.
people suffer a lot of inconveniences because sometimes they find out that the new road is now higher than the old road. So the water that ordinarily would have flown into the drain in our stays stagnant and all that. So definitely what we would do is put up a memo to HE now that he has directed Ministry of Works to scope area. I will underline the Eliozo axis because that seems to be an area that has great impact on people living around there.
Now, earlier in the day, Professor Odo took journalists to the Nigerian Navy warehouse in Rumolumeni, where the relief materials are being kept. She thanked officers of the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Pathfinder for helping to protect and take care of the materials until they are shared. In another development, the family of one Mr. Ifechukwu has heaved a sigh of relief after their child and his grandmother, allegedly held for 13 months in a hospital in Port Harcourt over non-payment of medical bills, were freed. Recall that the controversy raged after the family accused the hospital of refusing to release the infant and his grandmother after the demise of the child's mother in a preterm delivery. According to the Punch newspaper, a concerned citizen and humanitarian, Dr. Tari Bozimo, who had earlier written an open letter to the media on the plight of the child and his grandmother, confirmed their release on Wednesday night. She commended the Rivers State Commissioner for Health for her intervention in resolving the matter and the media for their intervention. Also, the father of the infant, Ifechukwu Muonyili, confirmed to our correspondent that the child and his grandmother had been freed. Muonyili said they were allowed to return home on Wednesday after a mutual understanding was reached with the hospital and a payment plan was agreed upon. Now, recall that following a viral social media report, the Rivers State government waded into the matter and contacted the hospital. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Adeze Ore, while speaking to newsmen on Wednesday, said contrary to the report, the hospital denied holding the infant and his grandmother. Ore said the matter had been reported to the police and is now before the juvenile court in Port Harcourt. She also said the ministry is following the matter closely to ensure it is settled peacefully and that the baby is reunited with his family. As you may know, the hospital in a statement denied holding the infant and grandma, saying it went to court to protect the child from being abandoned and to get an order to transfer the baby to the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. And still talking about health matters, the coordinating Minister of Health, Professor Ali Pate, says a robust healthcare delivery system not only improves health outcomes but serves as a cornerstone for national development. Pate said this at the 45th anniversary celebration and empowerment fund launch of the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital in Port Harcourt on Thursday. The minister, represented by the Director of Teaching Hospitals, Dr. Abioshola Adegoke, commended UPTH's commitment to providing quality healthcare services despite evolving challenges. He assured that the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare remains committed to partnering with the hospital to expand educational programs and promote continuous professional development.
Establishment of the endowment fund today is a strategic and a very commendable step towards enhancing the hospital's capacity for self-sustenance. This fund will enable the institution to invest in state-of-the-art equipment, support groundbreaking research initiatives. We, the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, therefore stand fully behind this bold initiative.
Correspondent Mekotoka reports that the Chief Medical Director of the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, Professor Henry Uboma, in his speech said the hospital has achieved significant milestones through collaboration with key stakeholders. He noted that UPTH has trained numerous medical professionals both within and outside the country as part of effort to strengthen healthcare delivery.
Management also launched a 5-year strategic plan for the hospital as a roadmap to endure maximum productivity and to attain a world-class setting in service delivery, in research and training, which are the core mandates of the hospital. Today, we are proud as a teaching hospital to have trained several professionals within and outside the country. I want to humbly solicit your support and collaboration in the hospital, as the federal government alone cannot cater for the responsibility of infrastructure and equipment of this hospital.
From the health sector to the court, the Rivers State High Court in Port Harcourt will give its ruling on Wednesday, November 5th, in a case between Fubara Dagogo and 8 others against the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, RISIEC. The case is about a disagreement in the APC over who truly won the party's chairmanship primaries held on August 4th, 2025. The presiding judge, Justice Stephen Jumbo, said the court will decide next week after hearing from both sides. The judge listened to arguments on whether the case should continue or if it was filed too late and cannot be judged by the court. The claimant, who belonged to the Emeka Beke-led faction of the APC, told the court that they were unlawfully replaced after winning the primaries. They said the party sent another list of names to RISIEC through a letter dated August 7th, 2025. They are asking the court to stop RISIEC from accepting that list and to declare them the real winners of the party's chairmanship primaries. Still on politics, the Independent National Electoral Commission says 8 of the 14 pre-qualified associations seeking registration as political parties have successfully completed the upload of all necessary information and documentation. The association are All Democratic Alliance, Citizen Democratic Alliance, Abundant Social Party, African Alliance Party, Democratic Leadership Alliance, Green Future Party, National Democratic Party, and People's Freedom Party. In a statement on Thursday, National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumeku, said the next step in the registration process is the detailed assessment and verification of the information and documents submitted by each association. Now we go on a quick break. When we return, we'll tell you that President Tinubu is asking new service chiefs to crush emerging armed groups. Stay with us.
We, the Omoka
on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back. Now, President Bola Tinubu on Thursday charged the newly decorated service chiefs to act decisively against emerging security threat, warning that new snakes must be smashed right in the head before they grow. Speaking at the council chamber of the State House, Abuja, where the 4 security chiefs were decorated with their ranks, the president said their appointment marks the beginning of a renewed effort to ensure peace and security for all Nigerians. Well, away from security matters, the chairman of Obiakpo local government area, Dr. Gift Nwolo, has presented a 2025 supplementary appropriation bill of over 5 billion naira before the Legislative Council for consideration and approval. Speaking shortly after presenting the bill tagged Obiakpo Arise, Dr. Nwolo explained that 2,022,500,000 naira, representing 57.1%, is allocated for recurrent expenditure, while 2,271,766,000 naira, representing 42.9%, is earmarked for capital expenditure. It said the bill, when passed, will help address pressing socio-economic and political needs, complete key ongoing projects across communities, and strengthen his administration's capacity to deliver on its campaign promises.
The summary of the 2025 supplementary appropriation bill is as follows. The total projected revenue for the supplementary period stands at 5,347,744,106 naira 7 kobo only. This presentation is in line with our collective commitment to ensure transparency, accountability, and prudent financial management.
Dr. Nwolo added that the appropriation will also enhance staff welfare, sustain administrative efficiency, and promote effective service delivery in the local government.
It is a people-centered fiscal plan aimed at strengthening governance structures and promoting sustainable growth, completion of ongoing capital projects, infrastructural renewal, environmental sanitation, market development, and other critical community-based initiatives that have a direct impact on our people and their future.
Meanwhile, the leader of the Obiakpo Legislative Council, Rex Melia Abuchi Amadi, assured that the council will ensure the speedy passage of the bill because it is designed to serve the best interests of Obiakpo people.
And I want to assure you here on behalf of the 10th Legislative Council that as much as we are working in synergy with the executive arm of the government, will ensure that this bill will see the light of the day in as much as our interest here is protected, and that interest is the interest of our people. This bill brought before us here today, we will consider it critically, pass it to law.
Meanwhile, civil society groups are pushing for justice in oil-bearing communities. They are calling on the National Assembly to review parts of the Petroleum Industry Act so that the law can better serve oil-producing communities in the Niger Delta. The group made this call during a 2-day national summit on the Host Community Development Trust held in Port Harcourt. The facilitator, Dr. Lawrence Dubé, tells correspondent Suebiorware that all participants agreed that there is an urgent need to review how the Host Community Development Trust operates so that the people in oil-producing areas can enjoy more benefits.
The PIA as enacted currently needs some reforms, and there are gaps in it in terms of the powers it empowers settlers with, which undermines the autonomy of independence of communities to design their own development programs and pathways, and the need for particular aspect of the law to be amended, communicate, to give an comprehensive overview of the legal and policy issues around the PIA, and also called for serious reform issues around it.
Other organizers of the summit, including Dr. Kenneth Abam of Oxfam, NAB Opaloa of Budget, and Ayo Omo of CISLAC, said members of host communities understand the problems and gaps in the system because they are directly affected.
And I see the summit as another platform to review what we have done over the years, see the gap, and also identify the gaps where the PIA bill is even has right now, which basically always is implementation. So it's not just about passing those bills, but how is it working for the people? How are the people carried along in implementation? How are the people also taking ownership?
Our budget and all the other partners have been working over the past 5 years to ensure that matters concerning community voices, marginalized groups have been addressed. We bring regulators, governments, communities, ways that can improve HDT management and oil resource beneficiation across the country, especially in the oil producing region.
This project is to showcase what are the gaps, the learnings and challenges that are faced by the oil producing communities.
Our correspondent reports that the theme of the two-day national summit was strengthening governance, transparency, and sustainability in host community development trust. And from oil to agriculture, Governor Siminalayi Fubara says his administration is creating an enabling environment for agribusiness to thrive. Governor Fubara, represented by the Commissioner for Agriculture, Victor Key, said this on Thursday at the Niger Delta Development Commission Agricultural Sector Retreat held in Port Harcourt. He said his government is focusing on private-public partnerships, inclusiveness, sustainability, and modernization. He highlighted other key initiatives of his government to include the School-to-Land Agricultural Training Program, empowering young people in crop production, fishery, poultry, and agro-processing. The governor said the Ministry of Agriculture is revitalizing moribund agricultural assets and engaging with development partners like the African Development Bank and World Bank. And now in sports, the state government is set to honor a sporting legend who left an unforgettable mark on Nigerian football. Governor Siminalayi Fubara says the state will immortalize the late coach of the Super Eagles, Pa Monday Sinclair, who died at 89. Speaking at a service of songs held at the Ecumenical Center in Port Harcourt, the governor described Pa Sinclair as a man of great wisdom and dedication who made indelible contributions to football development in Rivers State and Nigeria at large.
It's our comfort knowing that where our Father is going to is where we experience peace, no insecurity. While we feel sad, we should also be happy that he has gone to be with the Lord. I hereby, on behalf of the state and also as a friend to the family, to condole with you, assure you that wherever we need to come in to immortalize his memory in the state, we will do that.
We go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the news.
Congratulations to Honorable Evangelist Hope
Britain's King Charles has stripped his younger brother Andrew of his title of prince and forced him out of his Windsor home. Buckingham Palace said on Thursday it is seeking to distance the royals from him over his links to the Jeffrey.
Stay with us.
I beg your pardon. Now, it is seeking to distance the royals from him over his links to the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. 65-year-old Andrew, the younger brother of Charles and second son of the late Queen Elizabeth, has come under mounting pressure in recent years over his behavior and his ties to the late sex offender Epstein. Earlier this month, he was forced to stop using his title of Duke of York. But that's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Relief is coming for residents in flood-prone parts of River State. You heard that a family has reunited with baby and grandmother after resolving hospital bill issue in River State. We also told you that INEC has disqualified 6 more political groups. You also heard that President Tinubu has asked the new service chiefs to crush emerging armed groups. On the foreign scene, UK's King Charles has stripped his brother Andrew of his titles and mansion. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.